everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build we went sci-fi when we built the RDA pistol from Avatar, and it was sweet. And if you missed that build, we're going to include the link in the description below to our channel's homepage so you can go over there and check out RDA pistol or any of the other cool builds we have there. And for this build, we're going to stay sci-fi. So, without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. Yeah, man, these things are so exciting. Every time we show a new one, I just love these. Everyone's so super cool. Here it is. Look at that. Wow. It is the Lawgiver from Judge Dredd. Wow. All right, check it out. Super cool. A lot of neat details on here, but like always, super easy. We've got all these little see-through areas in here and here and here to see the barrel through there. It looks really cool, like we're revealing the barrel through these openings. A lot of geometric stuff happening on here. This cool half-round back piece, which is really fun to do. We just have to sculpt out some handle work. This back end piece that's got these kind of like individual flared pieces to make it look like it's got that wrap on it. And this whole section in here, man, this is one of those deals we do all the time. Well, we've got to layer up a bunch of pieces first using edges, and then we draw our cutting pattern and cut it out so it looks like the clip is totally sticking out of there instead of trying to attach two pieces, which is a pain in the butt. So there you go. Look at that thing, man. Super cool. A lot of cool details and really, really easy. So in this episode, making an EVA foam Lawgiver Part 1, we're going to begin going step by step through how to make it. And if you want to build your own, you can, because we have a template. So we'll include the link in the description below to our storefront, so you can go grab a template if you want, or don't, just chill. That's it. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Okay, here we go. This is going to make up the first section, and actually the bulk of our body for our weapon, and it's a 24mm inch thick piece of foam. And then we've got a couple 3mm pieces and a couple 6mm pieces. And all right, here's a brass tube. That's the perfect size for our little circles. We're just gonna pop those out. There we go, just a couple spins and it goes right through. Beautiful. All right. Okay, now we're gonna come to these little openings here. We're gonna use a little tiny brass tube and we're gonna poke out a circle on each end. There we go. We popped them both out. Now we're going to come in and we're going to cut from the edge of this circle to the edge of this circle. Just there we go. We're going to spin it around. We're going to here to there. All right, that's it. Perfect. Now we're just going to do that to all the rest of them on both pieces. All right, there we go. Check it out. Those are okay. Now we have these little squares drawn here, but we don't need to stop right here. We can cut all the way out like we did here. All right, that's it. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to take our three pieces, our 24, our 3, and our 6, and we're going to line them up just like that. That's why we have the flat edge on both sides. All right, just like that. Okay, there we go. Now you know the drill with contact cement. Coat both sides, let them both dry, then once they dry, they can make contact. So give it a minute. And we're just going to line up along the edge, just like that. All right, there we go. Look at all those layers on both sides. Really cool. Looks complicated when it's all done, but you saw how easy that was. All right, there we go. Now we're going to go over to the bandsaw, and we're going to zip this out over there. All right, there we go. Check that out. That is so cool. Now it looks like there's a clip sticking out of the bottom of there just by the layering that we did. Real simple stuff. Now we could have cut this piece with a real crazy cut and a second piece with a real crazy cut, but the chances of matching it all up in there perfect would have been super tough. So this is the way you can guarantee that it looks super tight and legit and looks like the clip is sticking out of the body by the way we layered it up and did our cuts. All right. Okay, now we're going to start doing the handle. We've got an inch thick piece, that's a 24 millimeter, and we've got a couple 3 millimeter pieces that are going to go on the side of the hand grip. All right, so we're going to go over to the bandsaw and the scroll saw, and we're going to knock this piece out. Okay, what we're going to do first is we're going to drill a hole through the trigger. That way we can feed the scroll saw blade through there and cut it out. There we go, just like that. Now we can feed the blade through and cut it out. Okay, there's our handle. Look at that, man. That is really cool. All right, we've got our super rough bit in. We've got our dust mask on. We're gonna round the edges off of here. We're gonna clean up some of this scroll saw stuff on here too. All right, there we go. Beautiful. Look at that. We got all the scroll saw lines off. We softened the handle up a little bit. That fits pretty good. I like that. All right, now we're going to come in with our smooth bit and we're going to clean it up. And we're going to do inside the trigger. All right, now we're going to come in with the rough bit to get inside here and clean up some of those scroll saw marks. All right, back in with the smooth bit. Rounded over edges, smoothed out inside here, rounded all these edges off. That's really cool. All right. Let's come in with our 220 sanding stick and let's smooth that off a little bit. All right, we're going to come in with our brass tube and we're going to wrap our sandpaper around it like that so we can get inside the curves. Just like, all right, see that? Now we can get inside the curves. Now we'll come in with our 320. All right, there we go. That's pretty smoothed out. Now let's come in with our heat gun and let's seal it. Man, that's some swell sculpting right there. Look at that. That is nice. Wow. All right, now let's stop, man. This is a disaster area. Let's clean up. Okay, now we've got our dust mask on. Now we're gonna come in with our wood burner and we're gonna do some grooves on these two sides of the grip, okay? So what we did was we drew our first line on both. And then we just made our dots 3/16 of an inch apart here and over here and up here, just so we can use that as our guide to go through, all right? So this is gonna be really, really easy. Start, stay at the same speed and the same pressure so that the line stays consistent. Just like that. Now we just go dot by dot all the way down. Okay, there we go. We've got our grooves wood burned all the way through. Okay, now we're going to come in with our brass tube. And we're going... All right, there we go. Perfect. Look at that. We've got 2 lines through there. Now let's come over here and let's get 2 more lines right there. All right, there's all 4 of them. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to keep those. Okay, now we're going to come in and we are going to cut our grip out. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut it on an angle, right? So we've got our knife tilted. All right, there we go. All right, so now we cut our grip out. Look how nice that is, and it's got this little beveled edge on it, okay? That's all we wanted, was just a slight angle. All right. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust this a little bit, okay? Because what we did was we have to wait till after we're done with our shaping, like that, all right? Because the handle gets shaped. Now we have to come in here all right, that is pretty darn good. That's nice. Now again, you got to wait till after you shape this before you do your real final cuts there, right? So all right, there we go. That's pretty nice, man. Wow. All right, we're going to put a couple little rivets in here. All right, we're going to come in with our 4mm foam, and we are going to pop out 4 rivets. There we go. Those are 4mm. Okay, now we're going to take this little tiny 4mm piece and we're going to try to round the edges off. It's nice and rounded off. Now we're going to seal it real quick just to tighten it up. Dip it in there, get the bottom wet. Now we're going to stick it down inside of here. All right. Okay, now we're going to get our Dremel out. Got our smooth bit, our dust mask on. We're going to soften up all these edges, okay? All right, there we go. We did a slight little soft round edge there. That's pretty good. All right, let's seal it. All right, there we go. Nice and tight. All right, there's our 24mm width right there. There's the one side, and there's one side. All right. All right, there we go. Look at that. Wow. Great Scott. Check that out. Man, look at that. Really nice with all these layers in here. Looks like the clip is really stuck up in there. Really nice treatment on the grip there. All right. Cool. All right, here's our two trigger pieces, a 4mm and a 6mm. So let's... There we go. All right, now we're going to stick these to both sides of this piece, okay, just like that. Use super glue for this because this is kind of a small piece. All right. Okay, now we're going to bring in our template that we're going to use to make our cut. All right, we're going to... All right, let's cut this template apart so we can get it on there nice. Right there. And right there. Here. All right, there you go. That's our cut right there. That's going to be our trigger. All right, there we go. Check that out. Let's get this on the blade so we can take a look at it. Look at that. There's the trigger with the 6mm in the middle and the 4mm on the side. All right. Wow, really nice. Man. All right, let's heat seal that trigger in there. Okay, now here is the big circular piece that's going to go on the back. Really, really simple. Made up of a 24mm and two 3mm pieces. That's it. Just keep going. Line up right down the edge. All right, there we go. Nice little recessed windows. Okay, now we're going to come in with our pattern to make draw our line. All right, there we go. Super easy stuff. Now we're going to go over to the bandsaw and we're going to cut this out. All right, there we go. Check it out, man. This is really nice. All right, this is going to come in and it's going to slide right up into there. Now it looks like we are a hair off right here. Let's measure how far we are off. We're about 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to take 1/8 of an inch off of this base right here. Right? All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Let's slide it in. Oh, that's pretty darn tight. Nice. That is really nice. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to begin rounding these back edges and this piece with our Dremel. All right, there we go. Rounded top, slight little round edge right there, and a little bit on the back. Let's come in with our 220. There we go, that is nice. All right, let's tighten this up. All right, look at that. We're tight here in this corner and all the way down. Good grief, look at that thing. So easy too. You can totally nail this, man. Look at how easy that was. Wow. All right. We're cooking with gas, man. Okay, here's our big chunkin' 48 millimeter piece. Look at that, man. 2 inches thick. That's a honking piece of foam right there. Now we're going to cut this on the bandsaw, actually the scroll saw. But what we want to do is we want the piece from the side to look like this, which has a slight taper. Just a slight taper. So we're going to use this as our guide, and we're going to go over to the table. We're going to tip our table to this angle, and we're going to cut this on the saw, and it's going to have a nice taper to it. All right, here we go. Look at that, man. That is sweet. Got a nice little taper right on there. Exactly. We're now going to be coming in with this piece right here. And we're going to cut out a bunch of strips, and we're going to go around our piece with these strips. All right, so we're going to cut 12 of these 3 millimeter pieces. Right now. All right, now we'll come through and we'll do the horizontal cut, just like that, all the way through. All right, now let's do this too. Let's do the bottom with a mark on it so we don't confuse them. All right, there's 12. Now we're going to use, actually we'll use that little bump that was the imperfection, and we'll hide it with one of our pieces. All right, now before we do that, we're going to take our Dremel and we're going to slightly soften the edge all the way around all of these. All right, there we go. We slightly just soften the edge. All right, now we're going to heat seal all these now. Down, flush with the end and flush with the end, just like that. All right, there we go. Slightly rounded edges, that's pretty nice. All right, now we're gonna come over to the exact opposite side. All right, there is our, we'll use our grid on our cutting mat. Let's find the center point now on this side. All right, there we go. Now we're just going to keep going. We're going to fill in 2 more in between, just like that, all the way around. Probably could have done this from the very beginning. We'll use contact cement now for these other ones. We probably could have just coated the whole thing in contact cement and done it that way instead of using the super glue. All right. Wow, really nice. That is really, really nice. All right. Okay, so we used our circle guide to find the center. Now we have this 18 millimeter foam dowel. We're going to knock a little 1/2 inch wedge out of there on the bandsaw. All right, here we go. There's our little wedge. That's going to go right in the center right there. Perfect. All right, there we go. That is cool. With all those little planks going around the back there, that's nice. And the way we tapered them, they fit on there perfectly. Wow, look at that thing. Okay, now we're going to start building the top part of our barrel. Okay, we've got a 12mm piece of foam, a 4mm wrap, and an 18mm dowel. All right. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to take this 18mm dowel and we're going to split it right down the middle. All right. But what we're going to do is when we send this through the bandsaw to split it, we don't want it rolling. We want the cut staying perpendicular, so we're going to use that little trick that we've done before where we take a safety block right here and we put some double stick tape on it. Okay, that lays flat. Right now we're going to stand this up the way that it's supposed to go, just like that. And then this will come in and stick to it. All right, there we go. Now when we slide this through the bandsaw, our dowel's going to stay upright. All right, so what we want to do is make our line that we're going to follow. All right, here is a dot there. And here is a dot there. All right, there's our cut mark. All right, there we go. And then we made our end cuts also while we were over there. And now we'll pull this off. All right, there we go. Perfect. Split right down the middle. Now we're going to come in and we're going to cut this 12mm piece also on the bandsaw. Okay, there we go. There's our 12mm piece of foam cut out. Now we're going to stick this right to the top of it so that we've got a piece that has a round top to it. Now we're going to come over to this side and we're going to make sure that we're lined up flush on this edge also. There we go. All right, there we go. Now we've got this cool little piece that's got the rounded top. All right, now we're going to bring this piece in and we're going to wrap it. Okay, now we're going to use our brass tube. Wow, that went right through there. Holy cow. Like air. Good grief. Beautiful. There we go. Center point. There it is. Let's line up our mark right in the center. It's flush at the front and it's lined up right down the center. Beautiful. All right, now we're going to roll it. Beautiful. Look at that. All right. That is a great little detail. Look at these cool little recesses right in here, up there, down at the bottom, all up in here. That's really cool. All right. Okay, now we're going to be setting this on top, but we drew our curve right here. We're going to have to cut a curve so that it meets up with this curve. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that curve and we're going to cut it out on the bandsaw. All right, there we go. See that curve right there at the back? Let's see how we fit, which slides in and it goes. Oh, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect where it matches up with the curve right there. Now we've got a tiny little glitch. We've got a tiny little space right in here. This circle is supposed to set flush up against here, but we've got that tiny little trench right there. So what we're going to do is we took a little tiny piece of foam and we're going to slide it down in there, filling in that gap. All right? And now we want it the same width as this piece. All right? So we're going to set this right here. And we're going to make our mark so that it's the exact same width as this base so that it looks perfect when it all goes together, right there. There's one. And here is another. All right, let's make some marks. All right, there we go. Get the bottom. All right, now we're going to push it down to make sure it makes good contact. All right, check it out. Right down in there now, we've got that little spacer, so it filled in that gap. All right. Wow, that is really crazy detail in there. Look at that. All right, there we go. Look at that, man. That's a funky barrel. We've got some vents at the top. We've got these little recesses at the bottom. We got this. Okay, let's seal this. This is raw foam. We're going to tighten it up. All right, there we go. Look at that. That's nice and shiny. The foam really tightens up. The surface glosses over. That's really, really nice. All right. Whoa, almost finished the whole build in one episode. You saw how easy it was and not hard at all. You saw again how we are careful and we layer up all of our pieces using an edge or a couple edges, and it doesn't look like much then. But then when you transfer the cutting template over and you cut it out, then all of a sudden, bam, it's a body with a clip sticking out of it. Super cool. A lot of recesses and vents, and that's how you do that. Really easy stuff. The rest was super easy, man. We did some shaping on the handle. Not too much, though. Wasn't too much of a Dremeling Super Bowl. We shaped just the edges of the handle. Came in with our wood burner to make those nice grooves in the handle. Other than that, everything's the same techniques we always use. Cutting out recessed windows, sticking down, cutting out, rounding edges, all the same stuff. Really easy. Very cool. All right. That pretty much concludes making an EVA foam Lawgiver Part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.